Get started. I'm going to give us about 2 more minutes. You are separated 6 feet apart because we still have to play by some rules here. But if you are a family, you are allowed to nest. So if you want to move your chairs together, please feel free to do so. We'll get started in 2 minutes. Thank you. Good morning. My name is Mrs. Schaff. I'm the principal of the program here at OHM BOCES, P-TECH OHM. We're very, very happy to see faces here, have bodies in the building. This is a great day. Before we begin our program, can you please stand for the pledge? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have more people joining us today than just what's in the room. We are live streaming this program, so we have people in the virtual world I would like to welcome, as well as the people in the room. So I'd like to begin with parents. Parents, you are a very important part of your students, our students' journey through P-TECH. So we thank you for being here, and we appreciate your partnership. I want to welcome our 10th graders. Although this isn't their first year in P-TECH, this is their first summer bridge due to COVID. As you know, we were not here last year, which was unfortunate, but we're very happy to have them here today. And we are very proud of the way they have welcomed the 9th graders into our P-TECH family this week. We've seen some really great friendships develop, and we're so happy they're here today. I would also like to welcome and thank our OHM BOCES cooperative board members, OHM BOCES administration, our component school districts, business partners, and higher education partners, as well as our returning students. We had juniors and seniors come back. You'll actually hear from one of our seniors today as camp leaders this week. They have also helped our staff and our students throughout the week, and they've been really important as well. I would also like to welcome our speaker today, Associate Vice President for Learning and Academic Affairs, Mr. Tim Thomas. He is a very good friend of the P-TECH family. He helps us a lot with our college pathways, putting students in classes, anything MVCC related, he is our guy. I would also like to thank and welcome, you haven't seen their faces yet, I'm sure you've communicated through email, but these are the important people on the ground who make not only today and this week happen, but they make our entire program so successful. So first I'd like to welcome Mrs. Warner, our school counselor and business partner liaison. Mrs. Kovacs, our science teacher. Mrs. Colantoni, math teacher. When I say science and math, they teach everything within their content areas, so they are truly talented teachers. Mrs. Piakowski, STEM teacher. Mrs. Druzzi, English teacher. Ms. Garrett, our business teacher, and Ms. Wollett, our resource teacher, are not in the room right now. They are doing other things related to P-TECH and with our other students, but I also want to thank them. Last but not least, this year I had a lot of support in building this program, not only with our teachers, but also one of our teachers, our social studies teacher, who is now acting as our administrative intern, Mr. Hoover. I want to thank him as well and recognize him. At this time, I'd like to turn the program over to Mr. Hoover.
Good morning, students, parents, teachers, business partners, academic partners, and our school community. Welcome to the induction ceremony. My name is Mike Hoover, and I have had the pleasure of overseeing Summer Bridge for the last 4 days. Today, it is an honor to officially recognize each student as a college student. Students, this is a big deal. You have opened the door to endless opportunities that will unlock future possibilities you will determine. Sophomores, we hope you understand how proud we are of you and the leadership skills you have exhibited throughout the week. Summer Bridge is an opportunity to engage with our business and academic partners, learn about the values we have as P-TECH OHM, and get to know classmates and staff members alike. This year for Summer Bridge, students participated in a variety of activities. On Monday, students took a field trip to visit our partners at the New York Power Authority and MVCC. During the experience, students had a chance to tour the fantastic interactive exhibits NYPA had to offer. After they provided us with lunch, we took the short drive to MVCC, where students took a tour of the campus. On Tuesday, students engaged in activities based around STEM and prepared for the job fair and mock interviews we had the following day. On Wednesday, students participated in the job fair, mock interviews, and Humanities Heroes, a game show that tested our students' knowledge of social studies and ELA, and maybe a few other things. Today, students are making ice cream for math and science, and all week, students are participating in STEAM Olympics and a t-shirt challenge based around the Positivity Project. All of these activities were designed around our core values that represent P-TECH Pride. Each letter in Pride represents a core value that stands at the heart of what it means to be a student at P-TECH. P, partnerships. This week, students began to get a taste of what our partnerships look like. We will continue to build upon those partnerships during your experience here. For instance, this week you had the chance to engage with MVCC, the New York Power Authority, Indium, BNY Mellon, SAES, Thinkubator, USAF, AmeriQ, the ARC, Mohawk Valley Edge, and Mohawk Valley SBDC. Students, you will continue to connect with our partners throughout your time at P-TECH. R, respect. This not only means respecting your peers, teachers, parents, and school community members, but also means the ability to respect the opinions of others, to give one another a chance to express themselves in a respectful manner. I, innovation. I hope you are all ready for an empowering educational experience. The education you are about to get here is bold, it's provocative, and will prepare you for the 21st century. You've already had a year of it. D, diversity. Look around the room, students. This room represents different school districts that come from different areas of our region. Not only will you continue to build relationships with different people around the region, but you will also engage in a diverse world. We hope you're ready. And E, excellence. To capitalize upon these opportunities, you are going to have to strive to do your best every day and take advantage of the support around you. Now that I feel I've provided an adequate explanation of our core values, I have to say, it's pretty intimidating standing up here. The amount of respect that I have for the quality of education and educators in this room is difficult to articulate in the time that's given to me. Students, here's what I can offer you, a challenge. A challenge to do the best you can and seize upon the opportunities given to you in this program. Reflect upon your experiences and try to make yourself a little bit better every single day. You will go through challenges and it won't be easy at times. That is learning. As educators, we hope you see the connection between your education and the opportunities that await you. Students, now that you have entered that door of opportunity, what will you do now that you are here? The choice is entirely yours. Welcome. We can't wait to continue on that journey with you. And now, I'd like to introduce a P-TECH student who's in her 4th year, Bella Yagi. Bella is a 4th-year student who has excelled in our program. In May 2022, she's going to graduate with an Associate's in Human Services and will earn her Regents Diploma in June from Utica. She's also served as a camp counselor this week for us. Welcome, Bella. The podium is yours.
Good morning, everyone. Everybody talks about that culture shock when going into high school or college, but it's real, and you're experiencing it at both ends. You're faced with a brand new set of responsibilities, new faces, unique challenges, and it may seem overwhelming. But the reward is a really fun high school experience, and it gives you countless opportunities at excelling. I can vividly remember my September freshman year crying because I had 4 homework assignments due in one night. It stressed me out, and I didn't know my own strength yet. Fast forward literally a week or 2 later, and I was eagerly planning ahead and found myself enjoying the work so much more. Fast forward just a bit more in a winter break, and I had yet another pile of work to chip away at for the next 10 days. But I remembered how intimidating it was to see a packed to-do list just not moving. So I got it all done before break even started. This is what changed my entire time at P-TECH. Maybe you don't mind taking your time on assignments, and that's okay too. The moral of the story is that the beginning of PTAC is all about finding what works for you, and especially what doesn't. I now know, going into my second year in college, that planning ahead is my key to success. It might not be yours, but learning yourself is the most important lesson. Personally, I immediately established myself as a leader among my peers. Admittedly, it took quite some time to understand that a good leader empowers others. This took a couple of years of trial and error for me to learn how to be an empowering leader, not an overpowering one. As I continue to improve my leadership skills and utilize all that I've learned, I've been able to form incredible relationships with business partners from our community. Connections with business was an instant perk of PTAC and continues to be one of the most fulfilling aspects of my academic career. During the summer bridge of my freshman year, we were all introduced to various business partners. For me, this started with Indium Corporation. They came here to BOCES and worked on a series of icebreaker activities with us that got our brains moving and working at an industry-level mindset. We were taught the basic project management principles that would continue to be used throughout our time at PTAC, such as deliverables, constraints, and deadlines. We learned how to navigate a tricky STEM challenge as a team, but most importantly, we were introduced to the concept of networking. Immediately, students met face-to-face with business partners, shook their hands, learned their names, and got to have valuable conversations that would benefit them greatly. From our PTAC years and beyond, we continue to stay in contact with these business partners. One of the more valued privileges of PTAC are all of the job shadowing opportunities. In particular, my trip to BNY Mellon was an experience that served me very well. I was paired with a man named Drew who had chatted with me about all of my future plans. He was able to share so much knowledge with me, and I carry that information with me daily as I move forward with college. Tim Butcher, the managing director at BNY Mellon, interviewed me for the role of project manager for one of our industry challenges. This was a great success, and my group ended up being the winning team on this project. PTAC is known to offer several mentor-mentee relationships. Conveniently enough, Tim Butcher became my mentor for my sophomore year. We had a set email prompt every month, and I genuinely learned so much from him. Tim is a very regimented, organized, and successful person. I've strived to be the same way and was able to pick up skills on how to maintain this lifestyle without pushing myself to unrealistic lengths. Yesterday, I actually had the chance to catch up with Tim at our job fair, and he said he would try his best to tune in tonight. Tim told me yesterday if I ever need a personal recommendation to reach out to him, and it's encounters like this that allow us to excel in the real world with real people. In my 10th grade year, the company Cree was on the rise and visited us at PTAC. I was able to speak on behalf of PTAC and highlight the way we incorporate business into high school. This got Cree into the loop with PTAC and PTAC students familiar with employees at a great company that may one day be interested in employing them. In fact, one of our current PTAC completers was just hired by Cree as a mechanical engineer a few weeks ago. After 2 years of experience with business partners, I realized at the young age of 15, when I started my full-time college journey at MVCC, that the relationships I established at PTAC would be another key to my success. I want you all to know as you advance through this program that it is possible. I know it may seem intimidating at times, but you're surrounded by support. The PTAC program incorporates years of college prep into your curriculum from the start to finish. You have an entire team of cheerleaders on your side. Tim Thomas, our MVCC advisor, has been amazing through the years in guiding high school-age kids to advance in a college environment. Ms. Garrett, who helped me tremendously, made absolutely sure we always kept in contact during the chaos of 2 fully online semesters of college. I felt so reassured always knowing Ms. Warner was just a few doors down to talk if I ever needed it. Mrs. Schaaf, since the day I met her, has always set me up with amazing opportunities to showcase my strengths and put myself out there. PTAC deeply values teamwork, and they will never let you be lost. As you move forward with your academic journey, please take with you the following advice. Maximize your time, ask for opportunities, put yourself out there. PTAC staff goes above and beyond for us. Allow them to help you. Be curious. There is so much unique content for you to take in. Give everything a chance. Use your resources. They're there for a reason. Do your homework. It will snowball, and it's not worth it. And lastly, take your time. Enjoy the moments. It all goes by really fast. Enjoy the slower pace of high school while you can and appreciate the little things. I know when we left campus for COVID, I found myself missing the people I wasn't even particularly friends with. The whole is the sum of its parts, and every part of the day at PTAC is something to appreciate. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, Bella. Now I'd like to introduce our college partner, MVCC Associate Vice President for Learning and Academic Affairs, Timothy Thomas. Thank you.
The challenges of wearing glasses in a pandemic. But thank you, Mr. Hoover and Bella. I really enjoyed your words, especially your focus on the important role that P-TECH plays building network and social capital, and also the importance of leveraging your own strengths to maximize your success. I think those are two key points. I'm also thrilled, absolutely thrilled to be here to help celebrate the pandemic-delayed induction of last year's P-TECH cohort. And as I was sitting in my kitchen late last night thinking about what I wanted to say today, my mind couldn't help but go back to one of my experiences from one of my first experiences in my current role at Mohawk Valley Community College. And I remember getting my job and then the next day being summoned to Albany to present to the SUNY Board of Trustees. And my goal, my task was to talk to them about the successes of our mechatronics certificate program. I was intimidated. I remember driving to Albany, shaking the entire way, struggling finding parking in downtown Albany. Once I found parking, walking up to the big castle that is SUNY Central, walking into the main door, being directed to the former courthouse where the meeting was going to be held, walking to the courthouse, entering the room to see the biggest boardroom table in existence, probably the size of this room, walking into the room, finding my seat, sitting down, looking at the name tags on the table. All the Board of Trustee members have these really impressive titles. Senior Vice President of something fantastic. Directly across the table from me was the Senior Vice President for Global Operations at Global Foundries, which is a semiconductor company that set up shop in Malta, just north of Saratoga Springs. And then it's my time to speak, and I go into my spiel and I say, MVCC's mechatronics certificate program was funded by a $20 million Department of Labor grant that was awarded to SUNY. With some of that money, we were able to create a one-year certificate program that prepares students for entry-level jobs in automated manufacturing. It reinforces electrical competencies, mechanical competencies, and on and on and on and on. And then I end with, but the best news yet is that 100% of our graduates get a job. And when I said that, all of the SUNY Board of Trustees members, they start celebrating, and they clap, because that's a huge success. It's a huge success. All of our graduates get a job. And as they're celebrating and I'm feeling proud, the Senior Vice President of Global Operations at Global Foundries, he pushes his chair away from the table and he stands up and he goes, and therein lies the problem, finger point and all. Oh, excuse me, what's the problem? What's the problem with all of our graduates getting jobs? And he said, I didn't say it like that. I said, I'm sorry, what's the problem with all of our graduates getting? He said, if all of your graduates are getting jobs, it means I don't have enough employees. Boy, right? So that made sense to me. That made sense. And that experience completely changed my worldview. It made me realize that you all, speaking to the students in this room, or really anybody available to fill the workforce pipeline, are valuable and a scarce commodity. There are not enough of you, and therefore employers are vying for you. The workforce shortage highlighted by my Global Foundry story is not limited to a single company or a single industry, which is why there are many different pathways available for the students to pursue in P-TECH OHM. The electrical and mechanical engineering technology pathways are intended to feed talent to support our region's high-tech manufacturers. As you're likely aware, and as Bella introduced a little bit earlier, Mohawk Valley Edge, a regional economic development organization, secured a commitment from Cree Wolfspeed to build the largest silicon carbide fab in the world in Marcy, New York. And amazingly, over the past year, through the peak of the pandemic, a world-class manufacturing location was built on schedule. Cree Wolfspeed has been busy, madly hiring over the past couple of months in order to secure their talent so they can produce power modules that will feed the international growth of the electric vehicle industry. That work will be happening here, nowhere else. And they will engage with the students in P-TECH OHM because you are valuable to them. In addition to the newcomer, two long-standing manufacturers with a regional footprint, Indium Corporation and Trenton Technologies, will also engage with you, not only because they are grounded in the community, but more selfishly because their corporate strength hinges on them maintaining a talented and plentiful workforce. The cybersecurity pathway is intended to support a myriad of local companies, but it also supports a broader national movement spawned by increases in state-supported international cybercrime and the geopolitics that have resulted. A recent Economist article begins with the following. 20 years ago, it might have been the plot of a trashy airport thriller. These days, it is routine. On May 7th, cyber criminals shut down the pipeline supplying almost half the oil to America's East Coast for 5 days. To get it flowing again, they demanded a $4.3 million ransom from Colonial Pipeline Company, the owner. Days later, a similar ransomware assault crippled most hospitals in Ireland. Such attacks are evidence of an epoch of intensifying cyber insecurity that will impinge on everyone, from tech firms to schools and armies. One threat is catastrophe. Think of an air traffic control system or a nuclear power plant failing. But another is harder to spot. As cybercrime impedes the digitization of many industries, hampering a revolution that promises to raise living standards around the world. Because of the immediacy of these threats, the NSA has been investing heavily in developing the cybersecurity workforce and educational standards so the United States, our organizations and industries can stay at the forefront of the international challenge. Through the NSA's investment, Mohawk Valley Community College has become a NSA National Center of Academic Excellence, and we house the NSA's Northeast Regional Resource Center. Through our partnership with P-TECH OHM, you are all able to immediately plug into the networks that we've created. Not all of the P-TECH pathways are STEM-focused. For example, you will have the option to pursue both human services and business administration. For those who take advantage of the business administration pathway, you have immediate access to embedded internships and our extensive network of transfer articulation agreements, some of which build out a guaranteed transfer pathway through a Master's of Business Administration. To highlight the human services pathway, I'd like to share a couple of paragraphs from a recent news article in the Albany Times. Advocates for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities are increasingly concerned because programs and agencies that provide services to the state's most vulnerable populations are facing a workforce crisis. The New York Disabilities Advocates pointed to a survey of 100 service providers in New York, finding 93% of those agencies reported a drop in applications to fill positions that provide services or are considered the backbone of the system to care for people with disabilities. The workforce shortage adds to uncertainty for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities in New York, and 70% of the agencies surveyed found senior staff would often have to cover multiple shifts. We have local agencies that are feeling this workforce crunch, and they are finding it more challenging to provide the essential services to the populations they serve, including residential services. The conditions are dire, and without writing could lead to human suffering. Therefore, Similar to manufacturing and cybersecurity companies, human service agencies are very interested in recruiting you to enter their workforce. To close, I'm taking a risk here, but to close, I'm going to share a couple of paragraphs from a book chapter that I'm co-authoring, and I'm taking a risk because no editor has reviewed this yet. So be kind, please. According to a report by IBM Corporation, one of the greatest threats facing organizations today is the talent shortage. The report says organizations are responsible for developing innovative strategies to overcome the issue. However, they are unable to do so alone. The education sector must also work quickly to ensure alignment between the skills, disposition, and knowledge deemed as essential by employers and the target outcomes of academic and training programs. But this cannot be accomplished in a vacuum by a subsector of education or without direct industry engagement. True alignment must ensure kindergarten to career curricular coherence and cohesion, and while accomplishing this is complex, the outcomes of doing so will be transformational. Although the utopia of complete alignment has not been achieved, certain programs are on the bleeding edge of doing so. One such example is the Pathways in Technology Early College High Schools model, which is a public-private partnership that involves students taking well-aligned high school and college coursework simultaneously and engages corporate partners in the development and implementation of career readiness skills and dispositions. P-TECH programs have very prescriptive curriculums, span grades 9 through 14, and culminate in an AAS degree that is aligned with in-demand, high-wage technical careers. This is what all of you have been accepted into, and I want to reiterate that the development of P-TECH was the result of employers feeling a squeeze in their workforce pipeline, which resulted in the necessity for them to play a much more active role in nurturing the future workforce, which is all of you. During your P-TECH journey, I urge you to fully engage. Bella already said that. Stretch your comfort levels. Bella said that as well. Develop your professional networks and social capital, right? There's Bella. I feel like I plagiarized her. And lean on your supporters, which include the immediate P-TECH OHM team, the college, your industry partners. Lean on them and us when you need help overcoming obstacles. That's our job. Similar to local employers, we engage in working with you for altruistic reasons. But deep down in the depths of our selfishness, we recognize that you are essential to ensure the sustenance of our community's recent positive economic inertia. Thank you in advance for your participation in P-TECH OHM. I'm wholeheartedly looking forward to working with all of you during your journeys. Thank you.
Now I'd like to invite up Mrs. Warner for the acceptance letter.
Thank you, Mr. Hoover. This is really an exciting time, especially because it has been postponed a year for these students. The students in front of you have actually already completed their first college course. So they are already building their college transcript. They will be getting a formal acceptance letter that Tim Thomas will be awarding them here today. But it's very impressive that they not only did that as ninth graders, but they did it in the middle of a pandemic where sometimes we were in person, sometimes we were at home, some students were at home all year, and they still were able to not only successfully complete their first year of high school, but also their first college course. So I think we really need a round of applause for that. So students, as I call your name, you will come up, you will get your acceptance letter from Tim, and then return to your seat. Parents, feel free to take pictures. First up, Jordan Black from the Utica City School District. She could not be here today, but I still would like to acknowledge her, Amaya Marie Best, also from the Utica City School District. Also could not be here today, but needs to be acknowledged, Michael Close from the Utica City School District. From New York Mills, Landon Davidson. From Holland Patton, Connor DeHart. From Westmoreland, Seth Fershing. From Remsen, Dakota Flagler. From Whitesboro, Cody Haberly. From Utica, Netanya Hall. From New Hartford, Taylor Hiltz. From Whitesboro, Sienna Husney. Could not be here today, but we'd like to acknowledge Tania Jones from the Utica City School District. From Oriskany, Gabriel Kent. From Sequoia Valley, Wyatt Kurtica. Also from Sequoia, Brendan Lee. From Oriskany, Seth Morenik. From Utica, Nay Mu. Akaw Mu, Utica. Also from Utica, Anthony Ortiz. From Remsen, Jaden Prosser. From Utica, Aaron Redemar. From Utica, Isabella Rivera. From Whitesboro, Aiden Shaper. From Utica, Hannah Sook. Also from Utica, Bianca Yules. From Whitesboro, Ava White. From Utica, Shamel Wilkins. And from Utica, Maximum Windover. Congratulations to all students. I'd now like to turn it back over to Mr. Hoover.
Thank you, Mrs. Warner. Thank you, Mr. Thomas. All right, congratulations. I want to thank everyone for coming to our induction ceremony today. If you would like to, parents, if you would like to take your child from the ceremony, you are free to do so as long as you sign them out. I hope everyone has a great day, and thanks for coming again. Bye, everyone. Congratulations.